Mike's hot.
Welcome, welcome. Woo! Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello, hello, hello. This is where you say welcome.
Oh yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome,
Right.
Hot Shot Secret fan.
We've got storms rolling in from the right.
Moving right day and night.
And we're supposed to be powered by science.
That's very true.
We better be able to get two people on one train somehow.
A lot of hard work that went into this. You know, it's something that we've been chasing for a year and a half to try to get this truck in the threes.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another edition of Facebook Live.
Episode 140.
Oh, are you on the hand mic now?
Yeah, I got the mic.
What happened to your Justin Bieber headset?
I tossed it. Okay, yeah, we don't need it.
All right, first question of the day, folks. Should Eric be wearing the Justin Bieber headset or the MC Hammer microphone? So we'll put that out to you guys. Episode 140. You know what that means? We're getting close to a 3-year anniversary of this. We got to think about that. We're 12 weeks away. Or about. My math's bad. As always, ask your questions. Post your comments below. We'll be monitoring. You're going to take YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll check YouTube,
YouTube
and
comments.
Facebook today. So regardless where you're watching, post them up over there, and we'll get those answered. Today's topic is Diesel Extreme,
Diesel Extreme.
our first and leader in fuel additives.
It was
on
the
diesel.
very first fuel additive, wasn't it?
It was pretty much the follow-up to Stiction List. Pretty
Yeah.
much like product 2, I believe.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Levi, is that right?
you're employee number 2. So is this
Diesel
product
Extreme,
number 2?
second product
There
ever.
you go. And we'll be giving some away. And as you know, you can win some yourself. Oh, it's really simple. Go to hotshotsecret.com/
Giveaway?
pop in your email,
That's it.
and that's
Simple.
it. Yep, really easy. So let's know where you're.
Well, did you mention that if you win while you're watching, you get extra?
We do throw some extra swag in. So if your name's pulled today and you're watching, go ahead and chime in, and we'll get you some gear along with your Diesel Extreme.
That's right.
So where are you watching from? And let's not forget, tag a friend in the comments below and tell them why they should be watching.
That's right.
I like that line.
Tell them why. We don't really ask for that, you know.
No.
Share the love. Share the
Yeah.
video. Tag people.
Heck, I've been here 2 weeks in a row.
It's got to be a record for...
It's been for a
a
while.
while.
Well, I'm gone for like the next 6, so
Yeah.
y'all got to hold it down. But maybe maybe I'll commit to a live show on the road.
You used to. I don't know what happened. You
Well, it's
got
all
lazy.
about timing. Sometimes it's like if we're
Yeah,
setting
you got
up-
lazy.
I got lazy.
You
Okay.
got lazy.
So we'll see. But we're dual streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Like and share, subscribe. Check out all our social media, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as well. Let's see who's in here today. Dan Zelton's in, of course.
Always.
Ma Dukes is in. Someone just walked on set and got scared. Terry Howard, as normal, with his top fan badge, says Happy Hot Shot Secret Thursday, guys. John Bear Jr., second question, ATF plus 4.
Can I say?
We're putting it on you, man, because R&Ds,
Well, I don't want to.
no, they need an
I
answer
guess-
every week.
A week from today.
Wow, he's putting it down.
It'll be live on the website a week from today.
Well, you know, Levi, he throws it up way early. Are you really?
No. A week from today. So next
Will be available to purchase.
Absolutely. Yeah. So actually, I don't want to. Maybe I'm wrong, Chad, but I believe next week's episode is going to be about the ATF plus 4.
Oh, a little sneak peek of next week.
We're going to have it here. Yeah.
So are we bottled yet?
Not bottled yet, but it is blended and ready to go.
Labels in? I saw tons of labels come on the
They've
ballot.
been ordered. I'm not sure if they've shown up yet.
So by this time next week, we will have them on a pallet, ready to ship to you folks.
Yep.
I know you've been asking forever, and you heard it. Hold Eric's feet to the fire. You got a 7-day countdown. Next week's Facebook Live, we're gonna be selling some ATF plus 4.
That's it. HotShotSecret.com.
There you go. So there you go, John. You get a solid answer now. Mike from Texas is in. Sam's in here from Ohio. Ryan Riddle, the robot, the scientist himself, says, "Hey guys, obviously went out first
assuming-
race of the year and took home a W like normal."
Surprise. I'm assuming, Ryan, you're going to be at UCC
I'm sure he
participating
is.
in the outlaw
I'm sure he is.
part of it.
Yep. And of course, my mom likes to throw in the hi, Kyle. Thanks to you, Matt Rice, Hotshot Seeker, for supporting Lily and Kaylee. All right, selfish plug here. Go to my Facebook page. My nephew, my 2 nieces are having a dance-a-thon.
How does that
today.
work?
Go pledge $1.
What's a dance-a-thon?
They dance a thon. It's a fundraiser, so you can either like donate $5 or I donated like $1 a minute for as long as I
Oh,
could
okay,
dance.
yeah. So however
But
long.
they cap them at like 30 minutes. Otherwise, kids would just like drop dead because kids will dance forever. So that's on my personal Facebook page. But go throw my nieces $1. We appreciate it. Yeah, Ryan's going to be there. Awesome. Terry says, cool, I need that ATF plus 4. I got a few hot shotters that have been waiting for it. We've got a lot of people waiting for it, so we're excited that it's almost here. But before we get started, we always like to do our Get to Know Us segment with one of our Hotshot Secret employees.
Yes.
And, man, we've got some fresh employees today. So hop on
Mike.
in here. Mike's yours. You're going to talk directly into the mic or they don't hear you and they start yelling at me. So I guess my first question before I get into the rapid fire here is, how long have you been here?
I have been here since Monday.
There we go. So,
Yeah.
Very fresh. So what's your name and what do you do here?
I'm Dino. I am the intern for Lsi Chemical, and I am pretty much doing anything on the international side. So as of right now, it's mostly just been training, but
Get up to speed.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into it next week.
Cool. And for those of you who know, I know we've talked about in the past, Lsi Chemical is another company we launched this past year underneath the LSI umbrella, really to kind of take our science and our formulations into an international level, working with major OEMs and oil manufacturers. And we had good enough stuff that's working well for us that we're killing it on the Hot Shots brand side. We're kind of taking that technology and working with bigger companies around the world. And it's been doing well, so bringing on help like you to help us out.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be very busy because I already got a list of like 8 tests today, so it's coming fast.
How's the training coming? Like, you're getting up to speed with the products? It's kind of confusing at first, but...
Yeah, I sat in on a meeting that was 3 hours long yesterday, and I didn't know...
Was it with a bunch of nerds?
Partially, yes.
Okay, all right.
And
we know those meetings.
I somewhat figured out some of the science, but I'm getting used to it. I'll learn it eventually.
You will. It comes along, and that's what I do. I am not that smart. I've learned how to dumb down the nerds around here, so that's what
I
I'm
might need
good
a
at.
tutor or something.
Well,
I'm
I'm a good translator from like
page.
nerd version to like human version, so we can work on that. All right, rapid fire. Here we go. How'd you find out about Hot Shot Secret?
So I actually applied through the state of Ohio for an internship in exporting and importing, and I was actually matched with your company.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
so my first time being here was last month, and I had an introduction, and
Boom, we're off and running. Then.
yep.
Cool. Where were you born?
I was born in Cleveland.
Okay. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up right outside of Cleveland in Solon, which is
I know where
30
Solon
or
is.
so minutes south.
Yep. What was your very first job?
So I used to work with my dad a lot. He owned a meat distribution company back in Cleveland, and throughout high school and everything, I would go there and help him out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was your very first car?
So my very first car is actually in the parking lot. It's a 2015 Dodge Charger.
Nice.
I've had it
Mopar.
Yeah, I've had it since I was 16. So
Nice.
yeah, still going strong.
Yeah, you'll learn pretty quickly. I'm a diehard Mopar guy.
Yeah, it's a
So
good
I
car.
did see it out
like
there. I didn't know it was yours.
Yeah.
So nice. I'll have to get you in my car club. We got Ohio Car Club.
Sounds good.
Ammo. We sponsor them too. So let's see. Did you play sports?
I did. I play football, or I did play football a long time ago. Now I'm not in shape to play football, but at one point I was. So-
I was the ballerina, and I still hold that shape. You can tell. So, what's your favorite hobby outside of coming here to your first week of work here?
Yeah. Again, big football guy, so I like watching sports. But other than that, I'm a big history buff. So, yeah, reading and reading about history.
What kind of
watching-
history? Like Like ancient history
No,
or like
no,
modern history?
U.S. history.
Right.
So, or world history in general. But,
Gotcha.
from 1700s on.
All right, that's where we put the
Yeah.
line. 17. Anything behind 1700, forget about it. What NFL team? I know he's going to ask.
The Browns.
Nah, I knew that
Yeah.
was coming. I'm a
Yeah.
Steelers fan.
Oh, well, you have better luck than we had. recent
Well,
years,
we'll
so.
put. Luck? Meh. Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
Holiday, Thanksgiving,
Good one.
food,
Yep.
football,
Football. Yep.
food and football.
Favorite beverage?
Beverage. I don't know. I guess maybe like a Gatorade or something. Or
What flavor?
I like just the classic fruit punch. Yeah, it used to be the orange, and then they changed the formula or something.
I can't do orange. I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, my mom's a nurse. Like my whole family's in medicine, and whenever my mom's watching. She'll back this up. Every time we were sick, she would get orange Gatorade for whatever reason. So that's all I puked up as a kid when I was young. So now orange Gatorade tastes like vomit to me, so I can't even touch it.
Well, they changed it, so it's not as
Maybe-
good as it used to be. So I don't really like it anymore. Either.
As long as it's better than vomit, we're making progress then. So, all right, final one. Unless Eric throws in a bonus. Favorite TV show or movie?
TV show, The Wire.
Great.
If anybody's ever seen The
Oh
Wire,
yeah,
great show.
That was before your time, man.
Yeah, it was. But I'm a big HBO TV show guy.
Me too.
So Wire, Sopranos,
Me too.
whole deal.
It's classic.
It
That's a good
is.
one. You got a bonus?
What position did you play?
Position
In
did you
football. I played nose tackle,
play? Nice.
but I was pretty small, so
Well, usually
For-
a small nose tackle is a mean son of a bitch. So.
yeah, it got interesting. So I was diving at people's legs and
You're dirty.
3-4. So
You're
yeah.
you're dirty. You take
was-
dirty knee shots, don't you?
Well, I had to play people that weighed 70 pounds more than me, so
Gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, you passed. That was painless, right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Well, welcome to the team.
Yes,
Glad
thank
to have
you.
you on board
Yep.
here, and look forward to working with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Atta boy, we got another one in the bag. We're knocking these out. Chris Chilton says, "What up, Kyle?" That's my dude from Ammo right there. See, Car Club. You see that Chris, new guy with a Charger here, man? Is that your son, Kyle? Says Case. Frank Otzen, what's up, Frank?
Oh, we got a question on YouTube. 702 Medic asks, is this approved for all diesels?
Yes,
Yes. I don't know what that was in reference
I'm
to.
assuming he's talking about Diesel Extreme.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
If not, clarify, but yeah, you can throw Diesel Extreme in any diesel application. I mean, not just vehicles, but tractors, lawn equipment,
the
agriculture.
diesel is good.
Yep, as long as it's diesel fuel,
Right.
that's good to put it in there. So, all right, let's move on to some dealer shout-outs. We got Bakersfield Truck Center in Bakersfield, California. I'm digging the logo on that too. Oh, look at the other one.
Oh, there we go. We got a picture.
Oh, in-house.
Nice.
Western Star and Freightliner. Nice. Oh, look at
Oh.
this. We're going inside
I like that.
Bakersfield Truck Center. Yeah, I'm digging it. This is a
Big operation.
This is a new segment. Is this your doing, Little Bear? All right. And shout out to Bowman's Diesel Repair in Kanab, Utah. I bet that's beautiful. Sounds.
Yeah.
Utah's such a pretty place. I mean, Kanab doesn't sound like a cool,
Kanab.
majestic,
Sure.
all right. But dealers, send us in your decals. Again, we're still stuck in the lobby here. They're still doing construction. Is it getting any closer?
I've heard like June 1st.
So we're getting there. So we're out here for a few more weeks. Oh, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'll be on the road. You guys are out here for a
Yeah.
few more weeks. So, but when we get back, we will put all your decals up on our dealer wall there in the studio. And so send them in. Influencers, retailers, you name it. And our featured ride of the week. Here's your chance to get featured on our page. Every Sunday they post that special image telling you to post your ride. And on Monday we randomly pick a ride. I don't know how random it is. I think
No, why the speculation?
I think Little Bear tends to cheat, especially on this one, because this is a cool one. Our winner this week is Will Tutton, Two-time winner. Oh, yeah? What, his other truck? A tractor. Oh, okay. So, and if any of you are fans of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, you probably know Will, more commonly known as Horse Feathers.
I did not know that.
That's Horse Feathers. That's his handle. So, and I got to give a shout out to Will too, because not only you having a mic issue.
I don't know. It turned red.
That's
I
bad.
don't know if that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
But I want to give a shout out to Horse Feathers because we sponsored the event.
There we
Actually,
go.
we do have a recap coming. Oh, you know what? I'll adjust it when we get there. We get that coming up. But glad to see he got the feature ride of the week. If you notice there on the truck, can you pull that back up? Oh, it's just going to explode now. Saw his head. If you notice on the front of the truck there, he's got the Make-A-Wish banner with the Hot Shot Secret. So he got to be one of the trucks in the Make-A-Wish convoy representing Hot Shot Secret for us. So we appreciate that. And it was really cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we also got the Protect Your Ride image.
Yeah, this is post a picture up with Hot Shot Secret products. Give us a tag. There's one here with from Truckmaster 07 with some Diesel Extreme.
Has it got like Lambo doors?
I don't
in
know.
there?
I was trying to tell.
Oh, the doors are just open. That's hard to see in here. We're like looking at the sun. Definitely has a nice paint job. But
I dig it.
good to see the Diesel Extreme going in. How convenient for the day. So speaking of, and that was truck_master07. So you don't have to enter anything for that. All you got to do is post your pictures up, tag us, and then Little Bear goes out there and hunts the internet
Do we
for
pull
those
those
tags.
from? Are those Instagram only? Do we do Facebook? Does it matter?
Between
everything?
Instagram and Facebook? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're ignoring TikTok, aren't you? We'll get there. So yeah, go ahead and post and tag us. We'll find you and give you some love on our page. So,
Anything new with Steve Summers?
well, there's some stuff coming. But we'll talk about that next week.
Okay. All right.
So we'll hold off on that. But yeah, Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live every Monday through Friday, midnight to 5 a.m. If you haven't listened, listen. We have, the following is just growing and growing and growing. And really, it's an overnight trucking show, but we got a lot of
Steve dives into everything.
everything. You're right. And I know people work third shift, listen to it. I know I'm hearing of this new thing about all these new parents and stuff that are up overnight with the baby and stuff. Our big listeners.
Yep.
Who'd
Makes
thought?
sense.
But the podcasts are all out there too, so you can catch the podcast every day of last night's episode. So you don't have to listen to it live.
You know what? That makes sense because Steve's voice will just put you right.
It's
to
soothing,
sleep.
man. I'm telling. All right, but I got to say something about that. Last time I was at the studio down in Cincinnati and I was on my way back up, I left right at midnight when he was going on air, and I was really tired. It was a long day. I had to drive all the way back to Columbus. It's soothing, but when you drive, I get why it's a trucker show. Like, I had no problem. I wasn't tired at all on the road. He keeps you moving.
Right.
But when you're
Keeps you engaged and.
But when you're in bed, he puts you to sleep.
does off,
So it's a two-way street. So, but great show. We're really proud to bring that show back, and Steve's killing it for us. So we appreciate it. You can get that on Google or Apple. App is now out for both devices. So, and the smart speakers you can get on Alexa too.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
In the Loop.
So this is our email newsletter. Goes out every week, usually about every week. You just jump over to hotshotsecret.com/email, and you get news, updates. I don't know why they're giggling back there.
I guess they haven't been hitting every week. Every other week.
Every other week. Yeah. But yeah, go to hotshotsecret.com/email to subscribe and get the latest news. Like ATF Plus 4 coming.
Yep. See, if you're subscribed, you wouldn't have to ask the questions here. But they probably haven't posted that in a couple weeks, so you need to ask the question here, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, Eventland. So a recap, what we just touched on, was the Make-A-Wish Mother's Day truck convoy. That was on Mother's Day in, is it Lancaster, PA, or is it Lancaster? I know around here we call it Lancaster.
There's
Ohio is Lancaster.
No, Ohio's
Ohio's
definitely,
Lancaster.
it's Lancaster.
Pennsylvania is Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Okay. So, raised almost $300,000. I'm pretty sure that's
That's
wrong.
crazy.
I thought it was like, I thought it was like 800,000. I saw. I could be wrong. It's a lot of money, and it's for Make-A-Wish. Event draws over 500 big rigs from across the country. We came on, and they use that money to celebrate the current and former Wish kids, to grant more wishes to children. So I'm sure a lot of you know about Make-A-Wish. It's such a cool organization. They do the most random things just to make young kids' wishes come true. And so we stepped up this year as a sponsor, thanks to our followers on Steve Summers' radio program. They said, hey, guys, they're bringing all these trucking things that we weren't even aware about to our attention. So we stepped up and became a corporate sponsor this year. Kind of last minute got in there, and that's why I wanted to give Horse Feathers a shout out, because not only was he there, he was saying on the radio show the other day that, like, he got up and talked and was explaining our products as best he could to everybody, and really just making sure people got some free handouts and stuff that we had. So he was our impromptu representative of Hot Shot Secret. So
that was nice of him.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that, and thanks for bringing your truck out there too, and carrying the Hot Shots flag for that. And it's cool. You should watch the videos of it too. I mean,
So I was wondering,
they're miles long. It's miles long.
Is it like a parade? Like, do they actually
They
drive
go on the
through, or they
highway.
just-
No, it's a big route.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, and what I noticed about the route was, it leaves a place, and when it loops around, it comes back in on the same road. So there's a point where the tail catches the nose. You know.
Yeah.
It's that long. It's crazy. It's crazy. So check out the videos on it. Really cool. So, Battle Scarred Motorsports Charity Car Wash is this Saturday. Is that right? Yeah.
May 15th?
Yeah, this Saturday. And as you all know, formerly known as USMC Racing, they're the
Good friends of ours here.
awesome friends of ours. They're the charity group that gets veteran, active duty military, as well as first responders behind the wheel of their race cars. We call it adrenaline therapy.
How many cars they got now?
Well, that's a good question. So they had, 3-ish, and police department just donated them an extra 6.
No kidding.
Yeah, they got like 6 more Crown Vics.
Wow.
Some are going to be parted out for parts. Some are going to be like backup cars. But Brian's goal is to have 7 operating vehicles at all time, or a fleet of 7 that they can rotate 4 in. But the more cars they get, the more guys they can get behind the wheel.
Exactly, yeah.
But the challenge also is the more cars you get, is getting all those cars to the racetrack. So if
keep
anybody,
'em running.
if anybody has a toter home out there, a stacker trailer that wants to get a really nice 501c3 write-off,
There you go.
these guys would happily take it, because to get all their equipment out at one, and we've been sponsoring them for a few years now. We provide all the oils for all the race cars, as well as their big rigs to drag the race cars around. In breaking news, I'll give you another side note. Brian just told me, this is a week or 2 ago, one of the new Crown Vics they just got is finally, he's been wanting this for years, they finally have a company that is going to donate the hand controls for it. So it's off in a different state right now. They finally are going to have one of their vehicles can be hand controlled. So for veterans that either have lost their legs or have lost use of their legs, they're going to be able to get out there and drive with the rest of them.
That's
now.
super exciting. I bet Brian.
He's already has like 4 or 5 guys on the waiting list. I went down there to that race in Texas, and there was a guy there that had lost use of his legs, and the track had a hand control car, but it wasn't working. So now that they have theirs, like wherever they go, they can help people like that. So that's going to be really. He's so excited about it. And you should mention that Hot Shot Secret, although we sponsor all their fluids, we also just donated another $6,000 in cash to them. Actually, Brian was messaging Chris to give him an update about the hand controls in the car, and Chris kind of asked him about it, and he said, well, the challenge with that is apparently when people that lost the use of their legs, they need to have the cool suits on. It gets really hot in those race cars.
Yep.
And so there's all these things you have to do to outfit these cars. So it's not as simple as here's a car, make it a race car. They got to gut it, put a roll cage in, all this other stuff. And so Chris really wanted to see the hand control car come to be, and so he donated an extra chunk of money so that they could outfit the car with everything it needs to get the hand controls functional.
cool.
So yeah, so we love supporting those guys. It's go check them out. They're always doing great stuff. So and apparently they're having a charity car wash this Saturday, noon to 3 at the New Orleans Harley Davidson.
Oh, cool. So they probably teamed up with the local dealership there.
Yeah, so for you folks down there in Nolens, swing on by, get a car wash, support a great cause, and I'm sure the New Orleans Harley dealership is probably a pretty cool one too. So, and let's see, what else is this weekend? Truck Day. Oh, it's not truck. I said that last week. It's Track Day for the ladies. That's our guys over at D Team Racing. We sponsor those guys, and they have 5 or 6 races throughout the year. This weekend is their Ladies' Day, and so ladies only. If you're due with a badass car, leave it at home. It's Ladies' Day.
Not allowed.
I know they have a bracket race set up, and they've got a few different classes. They're going to have open, test, and tune. That's up at Tad and Jim's Dragway of Magnolia this weekend. We're sitting out some prize boxes for them to give away. I know a bunch of the ladies that are racing out there, so it's probably best some of the guys leave their cars at home because
Get their feelings hurt. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big one next weekend.
This is the big one. Yeah, we just talked about it this morning.
Been talking about it for a while.
Yeah. ODSS and UCC come together. It's the Ultimate Call-Out Challenge.
Yeah.
We got, it is being live streamed.
Yep.
Right? By Flow Racing, and we're sponsoring that. But this is next weekend, May 21st through the 29th, over at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Yep. And it's a big one we've been waiting for a long time. And for these to all come together, too, I mean, we sponsor UCC. This year, we made a big sponsorship.
We've gone up.
Yep. We're actually the official sponsor of the sled pull, which is the third leg of the UCC. Mm-hmm. For those of you, I'll plug it now since I won't be here next week. I'll be out there next week. For anybody who's ever been interested in even checking out Diesel Motorsports, go to this event next weekend. This is the bucket list one. This is the big one. This is the one you do not want to miss. It is the coolest thing you'll ever. And they brought prices down considerably. They used to sell these tickets. I don't remember. They were $150 or something. It's $40 all weekend to get in.
It's 3 days.
It's
right?
3 days.
Yeah.
And the way I explain it to people, it's like a diesel truck triathlon. And
good way to put it.
Yeah, and they're like Transformers, and it's invite only. There's only 30 trucks there. Tens of thousands of people come to watch 30 trucks. The first day, they all go out and they have a drag race competition for points. And then what's really cool is once they finish up for the day, you'll see these guys get the trucks in the pits. They start wrenching on them right away to transform them for day 2. Day 2, that same truck comes out looking completely different, getting ready for a dyno pull. And so day 2 is a dyno competition. And then, of course, as soon as they come off the dyno, they strip them all down and they get them all ready for the next day of competition, the final day, which is the sled pull. And they'll come out as dualies and, like completely different looking, and they do a sled pull. And so it's big money to win each one of those legs, and then the grand champion's crowned, who's got the most points throughout. It's really a battle of who can keep from blowing up, too. I mean, it's carnage out there.
Educate me a bit here, because I understand the transition from, over to the sled pulls. But from drag race to dyno, what kind of setups are, what's changed? What are they doing?
Secrets, man.
Just depends.
They all got their own secrets, for that, I don't know. I mean, obviously different tire because they want the most grip on the roller.
Right.
That's the thing. These high horsepower vehicles are outpowering these dynos now. No one's ever hit 3,000 horsepower, but they're hoping someone might this year. And I know a couple people are going to make a run at it.
That's tough because you push the limits on the dyno. But it's not the last event. You got another event you got to go to.
Well, what's unique about it is some guys are really good at one of those 3. Mm-hmm. They might be a really good sled puller, and they know they're going to get big points there. They got to do good enough in the other 2. Some are really big high horsepower. Some are good drag racers. And it's like sometimes it's the guy who's pretty good at all of them. That actually wins. So
that all sounds good. But what about? How does Fire Punk and Outlaw Diesel Super Series come in?
So normally, this is about the time of year that we have Fire Punk's leg of the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. But this year, Fire Punk got with the UCC guys, and they brought their event from Ohio out to run at the same time. So, which makes it even more of it. You don't pay any more as a spectator to come see it. Now you're going to see an Outlaw Diesel Super Series leg and the whole Ultimate Callout Championship going on the whole time. So it's still going to run like ODSS normally does. They're going to have their Friday. It's going to be their qualifying and practice
All the
runs.
same classes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're all going to be out there. And that's why the day one UCC is doing their drag racing. Well, Saturday comes and it turns into ODSS's eliminations, and they run all theirs. But UCC's running the dyno at that time. The dyno's right there next to the track. So if you're in the grandstands, there's something always going on in front of you. It's either drag racing or someone exploding on catching on fire in the dyno. That happens every year. It's exciting to watch. So as long as no one gets hurt, which nobody has so far, but it's
Do you know? So tons of stuff going on. Do you know how many vendors show up?
hundreds. They call that the DPI Expo, which is like right behind the grandstands there, and it is huge. We're going to have a huge display out there. We're going to have a very cool truck in our booth too. I'm not even going to tease it. You got to come to our booth and see it.
Okay.
It's going to be very special. It's going to be very, very unique. So come check out our UCC booth, and that's cool. And we should give a shout out to Firepunk here. They are selling VIP tickets to the tower, which, trust me, when you're out there for 3 days to get inside that air-conditioned tower, it's like free food, free drinks. They give you a shirt and a whole bunch of stuff. So go check out shop.firepunk.com if you want to get one of those VIP tickets. It's well worth it.
It says it's all day Friday, Saturday. You get a catered meal per day, Firepunk swag. Yeah.
And one more announcement, too. Firepunk's doing something really cool also. They're organizing on, I believe it's Friday morning, like right when it starts. They're having like a driving school.
Yeah.
So for people that have never been on the drag strip before, you're going to have like the nation's best diesel drag racers that are going to give you their time.
I've seen a lot of people chime in too, say, "Yeah, I'm happy to help. We'll be there."
Yep.
It's
And
top
these guys,
names in the industry.
These guys are all willing to help, and they want to grow the industry. So they're challenging the people that are coming in the stands. Like, we look at the parking lot, it's full of awesome diesels. It's like, go grab your diesel, bring it up here. And Levon Miller will teach you how to go down the track. I mean, and then the goal is, they get those guys excited, they might enter the ET class of Outlaw and compete this weekend.
Right.
Because a stock truck can compete in that class. So look forward to that. So it's just an awesome event. If you can possibly make it to Indianapolis next weekend, do it. This is the one you want to watch. So, and we're going to have like the whole darn team out there. We had a meeting today. It's like
the whole crew.
You're going, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going. So we'll be deep there. Let's see. And finally, so the following weekend we have the PDRA, the Serbo Construction American Door Slammer Challenge. That's being carried by Flow Racing right here in Ohio at Summit Motorsports Park. But we're sponsoring the live feed of that with Flow Racing. So check that out. And I'll give you one more plug for Party on the Mountain. That's Memorial Day weekend as well. After UCC, my buddy Matt Rice with DNR Auto is throwing a no prep race. He's got a bunch of classes, small tire, big tire. They got a lot of people locked in. Our buddy Anthony Smith with Hercules is going to be on the premises, not just showing off the car, not just autographing. He's entered.
He's racing.
He's racing in the Hot Shot Secret small tire.
All right.
So,
and where's that at? Tennessee?
it's in English Mountain Raceway in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yep. So
okay.
we'll plug that here coming up, but that's going to be Memorial Day weekend. And for those of you that think, oh, Memorial Day weekend, I don't want to go see a race, it's going to be. That's why we're calling it Party on the Mountain. He's giving like free hot dogs to all the kids, encouraging families to come out. We got a whole bunch of giveaways we're going to do. There might be some fireworks. There might be some. It's going to be a good time. We're going to make it a really good time and some really good racing. So it's a good place to spend your weekend. And so we're going to jump into this quick video. Cool. So speaking of Matt Rice, give him a shout out since he does some videos for us. But I believe this is from Rudy's, and while we were down there filming at Rudy's and you're capturing everything, came across a very unique vehicle. So we'll let the video speak for itself here.
What's your name, bud?
Kevin.
Kevin, where you from?
Winston-Salem.
Okay. And tell me about what you got here, bud.
Just a 66 Caprice with a 6VT in it. Yeah, Eden supercharger on top. More pin over and attention.
Nice. Badass. shop?
I just met my buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's got all new sheet metal in it. All the quarters are brand new. Everything's badass in it.
Yeah, that's pretty damn awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
How long did it take you?
It took us about 2 months
Okay.
from start to finish.
Nice.
I was working on it every single day though.
Yeah, every day.
That's fun. It's badass.
What gave you the idea?
And we just like doing one-off stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Just something different.
Sure is.
Oh, yeah. Can you pop the hood?
Yeah.
Turbo and supercharger.
Why not? That's a better question, you know what I mean?
Why, damn right.
That thing fucking, it gets on down the road pretty good.
Does it?
I mean, it ain't no damn race car, but
Right,
it does the job. It's fun as hell to drive.
I've never seen somebody slap a supercharger like
Yeah.
that on there
It took a lot of damn work to get it lined up and stuff.
to make it work. But it's working.
Oh yeah, it works good. I run.
Have you ever raced it at all or anything?
Nah, we was going to today, but we didn't have a up pipe for the exhaust, so they wouldn't let us race. We was gonna see what it would do, but we'll come back next time.
If you ever find out what it does, you gotta let me know.
We'll do, man.
That's awesome. Do you have like social media, anything? People can find pictures, maybe videos, anything? Instagram, Facebook?
Nah, man, we're gonna start making all that stuff. We just started doing all this custom swaps. We got a 61 Army truck over there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's ours too.
Now we gotta go look at the army
Yeah, man.
truck.
Go look at it.
That is a bad
That was
vehicle.
sharp.
Yeah, when's the last time you saw a classic Caprice diesel
Yeah.
turbo and supercharged? That's your style, man. You'd rock that. That's cool. So thanks, Matt, for the video there. Let's get into. Oh, actually, let's do a giveaway.
Got a giveaway.
All right, so we're giving away some Diesel Extreme, and the winner is
D-Bonks.
wrong. Try again.
B-Dunks.
B Dunks. B Dunks at something. We're not going to give away your whole email, but you are a winner. So if you're watching, chime in. We'll throw in some swag along with some Diesel Extreme. So
B-Dunks.
B Dunks, not
B-Dunks,
debunks.
yeah.
You're debunked.
Yeah.
But again, you guys can register every week. HotShotSeeker.com/giveaway and give away stuff every week. So make people happy that way. Let's see if we have anything before we get into our Diesel Extreme talk. 660 diesel is here. 660 diesel, formerly known as 1320 diesel.
Oh.
Just made a name change. So 6SIX, number 60. So shout out to them. Dylan Kick asks, did y'all ever get the oil ready for gas vehicles? We discussed it last year, but I forgot to ask.
Passenger car motor oil.
Right. It's still in development. That being said, we do have some gas oil. The Grey Diamond Euro spec oil is SN rated, so
It's mid-saps.
yeah. If you have a Euro spec vehicle that is gas, that oil does work for it. And I'd always argue our racing oils, our gas, alcohol, diesel, doesn't matter. But I know Dylan, and I know what he's asking. For your traditional passenger car, gasoline, not yet.
Not yet.
But we're working on it. Speaking of Dylan, are you coming out to the Memorial Day party on the mountain? If you're not, you better be coming. I know Anthony's coming, and Austin's coming, and Bobby said she's coming. So, Dylan, you better be coming too, man. And speaking of Frank Ott Jr.'s in here, Frank, you coming out? That's a no prep, not too far away. Love to have you down there too. So, Dan Zilton's in. Lars is giving himself a shout out. There you go, Larry. So, Lars wants to shout out himself. Take the time, brother. Pop in. Just hop in and run. Say, hey, I'm Lars, and then run back out. My sister's in. Look at this. I get the whole family. Hey, Kyle, just wanted to tell you and your buddies thank you for helping Lily and Kaylee with their dance-a-thon. Hot Shots, Matt, and Blaze. Oh, Blaze, my buddy from the Corona League.
Oh, the
Practice
lockdown,
League.
yeah.
Yeah, he must have donated too. Thanks, Blaze. That's cool. All right, so let's get into some Diesel Extreme. Where do you want to start?
I don't know.
First of all, it's a fuel additive. So we start at
For
30,000
diesels.
feet. For diesels.
Check.
Now, why do we not have a million diesel fuel additives like some companies?
Well, why do that when you can solve most problems with one product?
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Yeah.
We could, if we just took everything that we're solving here, we could make 6 different products.
Because it's a 6-in-1.
It is. It is.
What are those 6 without using your
Are you
hands?
using your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think I could do it?
I don't know. Let's see. I got them here. Don't look.
Okay. Injector cleaner, cetane booster, lubricity additive, rust and corrosion inhibitor, water dispersant, and fuel stabilizer.
Oh, you're on it. You got it. Those are the 6.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, what's unique and where we want to kind of take this in difference when we talk about our EDT, our everyday diesel treatment, what are the 6 things everyday diesel treatment has?
So you want to repeat the same thing you just said?
The exact same
It's
thing.
the exact same, yeah.
So people often wonder, and people often get introduced to our products, they get introduced to Diesel Extreme first.
Yep.
It's more widely available. You see it in all the retail stores, all the truck stops, all the car parts stores. EDT is quickly catching up now.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
years later, but it's now really catching up and catching fire, and all the retailers are adding it. But even to this day, a lot of people that don't know much about our product line, even some of those that use it, don't know that we have another option with EDT, and they see this as the fuel additive that we offer. Truth of the matter is, this product is designed to be used periodically.
Yeah, every 6,000 miles.
Yep. Every 6,000 miles or 600 hours on equipment, that
Right,
type of
right.
thing. So, and the reason being is, of those 6 ingredients we just named, and we'll go through each one of them, but the bulk of the Diesel Extreme is just a crap ton of injector and fuel system cleaner. This is the most potent diesel fuel system cleaner that's ever been formulated. And it is going to clean everything it touches, from the tank to the lines, all the way straight out through the fuel pumps to the injector tips. And I challenged anybody to find a product that cleans better than this. This is going to clean it out. Matter of fact, a lot of people find this product, unfortunately, once they have a problem.
Right.
And
Right.
it could be a smoke problem, it can be a bad startup, a cold start problem, rough idles. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you run into that can often be corrected just with a good, thorough fuel system cleaning. And so that really is the primary source of this product. And this was kind of brought out. And again, if we could date it back to the beginning of the company when Chris first brought Stitch Eliminator out. Well, that's an oil side deep cleanser. So they said, well, his next product, well, I'm going to do a fuel side. And that's really where this came. So you can clean the oil and the fuel side out of the engine. And so that was the initial intention, was cleaning.
And a lot of times when people come to us with issues, if we can't diagnose the problem completely, or maybe there's some muddy waters or some gray areas, we almost always default, run this, give it a shot first.
It solves so many problems. And
Exactly.
and if not, it will help identify what maybe an underlying issue is.
Exactly, yeah.
So the primary purpose of it is for cleaning. But then to get back to what you were saying, while we're in there,
Might as well do everything else.
might as well do everything else. So the injector cleaner is most important. But we're also going to put a cetane improver in there.
Yep.
We've talked about it a lot. You just ghost wrote a story for me.
Yeah, I did? Yeah.
But why do we bring the cetane up in fuel?
Well, because cetane, essentially what it does is it helps the fuel burn more efficiently. You get a bigger boom, more power, more fuel economy, better fuel economy. Less soot. There's all kinds of benefits to having higher cetane, but sometimes the fuel we get at the pump isn't that great. Yep. The U.S., the minimum rating for diesel fuel, it has to have a minimum rating of 40. Now you can go upwards, 50 plus. I think California's minimum is 53 cetane.
I thought it was 50, but I saw you.
Yeah, so it varies state to state. Some people have different regulations, but the point being, you really never know what you're going to get when it comes to cetane rating.
And Joe Morrow was on. He's our trucking industry expert that goes on the Steve Summers show every Monday. He was talking last week that even some fuel testing they've done, they found plenty of fuel that was under 40.
Oh yeah,
under the legal limit. So you got to be careful what you get out there. And when you get something like that, you're just not getting a good clean burn. You're going to be
the truck runs rough.
You'll see that's where the black smoke. When you see black smoke, that is fuel burning, and that's not fuel being used to combust the engine to make it go. So it's wasted. It's dollars. It's money going out the tailpipe, and it's wasted fuel. So bringing the cetane up allows you to get every drop of that fuel burned towards actually producing power in the vehicle. The difference between cetane and octane often gets confused. So in a gas application, octane and cetane are literally like exact opposites.
Right.
In a gas application, they are trying to what they call retard detonation. They are trying to restrict it, and that's what octane does. And vice versa, on the diesel, the cetane is actually improving, and we're trying to make it more explosive, if you will, and help the combustion process. So the higher that cetane level, the more you're going to get a thorough burn of all of it, the less is going to go out the tailpipe. And if we can get that much more fuel used out of your tank, then you're going to go that many more miles, and that's where you see the MPG increases. Now what's unique about that, and here's why this product gets a little confusion, even though it's been on the market a long time, you're not going to feel the stabilizer in it. You're not going to feel some of these things. You do feel the cetane. And so a lot of times people will put this in every single tank because they're like, man, it runs great when I have a bottle of that stuff in. That's what the EDT's for. After you've cleaned it out with the Diesel Extreme, move over to EDT. Think of this as your deep cleanser that you're going to use, what we always say about the dentist. This is like going to the dentist, and then EDT is like brushing your teeth every day. So you don't need to go to the dentist every day to clean the teeth. So let's just use this as a cleaner. Now, we throw everything else in there so you can get all the good stuff while you're cleaning, and that's what happens to people. They get the cetane boost out of it, and they're like, man, I want to put another bottle in that in. Well, we put that cetane boost in every dose of EDT at a strong punch that you don't need to, it's a lot more cost effective and everything. So it allows you to keep that boost up in every single tank. And it's like a keep clean dosage of the injector cleaner until we've made it another 6,000 miles, we need to come back to do it.
And that's why, one reason why, I don't know if we had this up on the product page of the website or not, but we did I always get this wrong, Peugeot DW10 test, I believe is what it's called. We did there's a science corner that Aaron did one time talking about detergents and injector cleaners. Go to our YouTube, search Science Corner, you might be able to find it. But essentially it was a test where they dirty up the fuel system.
Oh, yeah.
They measure the power loss.
Peugeot does do that, right.
Yeah.
They somehow specifically dirty them.
They dirty it up, they measure the power and see how much power has been lost. And when we tested with Diesel Extreme, it was 87% restoration of power.
Right.
So run this first. You clean everything out. You're going to restore that power, and then, like you said, you jump over to EDT, just going to maintain it.
And let's go back to that cleaner one more thing. I forgot a very important point. There's a lot of injector cleaners out there. There's a lot of fuel system cleaners out there. There's one very expensive ingredient that we put in ours that very few have, and I think I saw you, Little Bear had the chart up a minute ago. Yeah, on that second line there where you see a whole bunch of people with none.
Yeah, what is that? What's IDIDs?
That's IDIDs, internal diesel injector deposits, which is somewhat of a newer phenomenon in diesel fuel, and it's come about in the last 10-ish years, 5 to 10-ish years, where there's a lot of poor additives being added after it leaves the refinery and it goes to the jobber's hands, and some of these are kind of bumping heads. And what it does is it creates these deposits. They're like snot. They're like these little
they're
gummy,
nasty. They're hard to get rid of.
Deposits, and they can make their way through the fuel system. They can make their way through a fuel filter.
Past the filter, yep.
And they get caught up in the injectors, and that's bad news. And that starts messing with your spray pattern.
Well, most of the time people think about injector deposits. It's the coking deposits on the tip of the injector,
Right.
which have been around for years. Everybody knows about them, but
Right.
these are, like you said, they're relatively new on the internal parts, and
Right.
it cause real problems.
And
And they're hard to get rid of.
They're very hard to get rid of, and it takes a specific cleaner. And to be frank, it's really expensive. So
Right.
most people keep it out. If you saw the chart we had up there, I think there are only 2 other brands we found that actually have that IDID cleaner. So if you really are trying to clean out your diesel fuel system, and if I'm not selling you my product, I'm telling you, make sure you find a product that's using IDID cleaners. I mean, yeah,
There's
like
only,
2 out of
just a
the
handful.
7 up there even have it. So it's something to look for because it's certainly an issue. And your normal cleaners will not clean those out.
No, not at all.
So we covered the injector cleaner. We covered the cetane improver. We also throw the lubricity agent in there. We've talked about this a lot, how dry the fuel is nowadays. We started with low sulfur diesel, which cut out 99% of the sulfur. We moved on to ultra low sulfur diesel, which cut out 99% of the remaining 1%
Right.
of sulfur. And sulfur is bad stuff, no doubt about it, but it is an excellent lubricant and it blends well in fuel. So that sulfur base really creates a good lubricant to protect all the fuel systems, because the only thing that is lubricating your fuel pump, your injectors and everything is the fuel itself.
It's the fuel. And I will say, just like when we're talking about cetane, lubricity's hit or miss too, all over the board.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you can go to a pump and find fuel that's in spec, it's in grade, the lubricity's fine for your truck, but you can also find some stuff that's not, and that's when you're running into issues.
Right, right. So, and as we know now with the CP4 pumps out and the John
Everybody knows about those, yep.
So you really need to keep lubricity in the fuel, especially if you're running that. And we hear it all the time with some people top treat it or
Yeah.
the LX4. Well, that's just another reason. Like, I don't want to run a single tank of fuel if I have a CP4 without lubricity.
Because you never know.
Right. So say I'm a diehard EDT user. Well, it's time for me to do a 6,000 mile cleaning. Well, I don't want to risk that one without lubricity. So it's in there. It's already in our diesel extreme. It's just another component. So we make sure even during your one tank every 6 months or 6,000 miles, we're still making sure that fuel gets plenty of lubricity to protect the system while it's cleaning.
And then the next one is talk about moisture in the fuel.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Big problem.
big problem.
Comes
Now-
from both the tanks in the ground as well as the tank underneath the truck.
Now, there's really 2 ways to handle moisture, right? There's a demulsifier and an emulsifier. First of all, what's the difference?
I get them mixed up, so you're going to ask me. We're demulsifier in the diesel extreme
Correct.
because it's diesel D. That's how I remember.
That's how you remember. So what's that do?
So when you have moisture in the system, in the fuel, and again, you can get it a couple ways. It can come from the tank at the gas station. It's usually during the changing of seasons. Right now we're in Ohio where we get crazy back and forth. Well, you're going to get condensation in the tank. It's just like if you look at a pop bottle sitting in your cup holder in your car, you'll see the condensation. First of all, the best way to avoid moisture is to keep your tank full.
Right.
The more you keep your tank full, there's less surface area that's air that's going to develop condensation and have water come in. That also happens in the underground tanks at the gas pump. So you could be doing your best job that you can to protect your system, but they could have water already in the fuel that you're pumping into your truck. So We might have a special guest. And so that's always a way it gets in there as well.
Yep.
And so the way we get it out, there's two different ways. The emulsifier is a way of basically encapsulating that water and trying to pass it through the system. Some other brands go that way. There's a high risk of that because you still have, once you get to the high pressure side of a diesel fuel system, which is tens of thousands of PSI, if you get that water hitting that injector tip at that rate, you can blow the tip off an injector.
Boom.
And so we prefer to go the other way, which is a demulsifier. And what a demulsifier does, it finds the water that is in the fuel and it breaks it out of solution. It makes it fall to the bottom.
Drops to the bottom.
The same thing we do when we work with agriculture and big bulk tanks, and they may have like a water issue. The way to get it out of there is we shock the whole tank with the demulsifier, make all the water fall out of solution, and now it's just like when you see a creative shot glass of layered drinks.
Right, yeah.
All the oil or all the fuel will sit on top, and that water will sit on the bottom. When we do that inside a fuel tank of a truck, well, we're putting all that water down there at the bottom for the water fuel separator to grab it and pull it out. We'd much rather pull it out there than try to pass it through, encapsulate it and pass it through the system.
Right, just safer.
It is. It's a safer way to go, and and the system's set up for it. We're just assisting that water separator by delivering the water directly to it.
Right.
Rather than it trying to suck it out as it passes by. But that ties us into the next one, the rust and corrosion inhibitor. That's understanding that there's water in the system. So that brought up another problem. It's like, okay, we get water in there. We got to get it out. We're doing that job, but in the meantime, that water can create corrosion.
Right.
And so any of the metal surfaces it touches. So we add a rust and corrosion inhibitor to this, and that way it coats everything inside that it touches, from the tank to the lines to all the intricacies of the fuel pump out through the injector. Everything's going to get a nice coating of anti-corrosion and a rust inhibitor. And that way any moisture that is in the system won't start oxidizing the system and start making rust, which then problems.
Yeah, and especially you think of all the low points in the fuel system. Anywhere the fuel is going to sit, that's where you need to protect it from this.
Right, and that's what we're kind of doing with the demulsifier. We're getting to all the water drops, so we're conscious of that. So we add the extra cleaners or the extra anti-corrosion, so it doesn't become a problem. And the final ingredient,
Stabilizer.
fuel stabilizer, very important. People don't understand how quickly diesel fuel goes bad. Another thing I learned from Joe Morrow, we talk about how diesel fuel can start to go bad as early as 30 days.
Right.
He said it can actually be shorter than that even.
Really?
And he said the average time from the last refinery load to an in-ground tank can be 30 days.
Oh, there you go.
So he's like, by the time it's delivered, it could already be bad. It's like, so that's crazy to me. Or start to go bad. It starts to oxidize.
Right.
And you start to lose cetane. A whole bunch of things happen. That's why we see low cetane fuel and stuff.
Right.
And, so we want to stabilize the fuel. Stabilizing diesel fuel is actually kind of easy. It's not that tough. That's why I'm surprised people don't, the jobbers don't spend the money on it and whatnot. And that's usually when people get bad fuel, it's fuel that's been unstabilized and it starts to fall apart. So I think one dose of Diesel Extreme lasts, a year? At least a year to 2 years?
To stabilize.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to, more. I think.
At least a year. I think we used to say 2 years.
2 years is what I was thinking.
So basically longer than you're ever going to need.
Right.
So certainly if you have a diesel application and you want to put it in storage, certainly put, first of all, top it off. Remember, let's get those tanks filled up so you leave less room for moisture to build up in there. But make sure you have a good stabilizer in there to get you through the winter seasons. If you're storing, if you're storing an RV, we got a specific product for that.
We do.
But if you just, if you got a hot rod that you drive in the summertime, and you keep in the garage for, during the cold months, make sure you get a good stabilizer in there to protect it. So what are the benefits that we then get from using these? We just named the 6 things it does and how we're protecting both the fuel system and treating the awful fuel that goes
Right.
in.
Well, we've talked about the horsepower, fuel economy and stuff with cetane,
Right.
and just the general protection with lubricity. But like, we talked about burning that fuel more completely. That's going to help with if you got DPF systems. It's going to reduce regeneration cycles.
Yeah, that's a big one. We've
That
done
is
a
a
lot of
big one.
testing on that.
Yeah, we did. Was this the Ohio State or
Yeah.
City of Columbus?
I think I get them mixed up.
Might have been with the City of Columbus.
No, it was City of Columbus.
Yeah.
To the regen cycle. Yeah, and I got to bring up Joe Morrow again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember him saying this too. He was talking about, he's a big user of our products, a big believer. His whole fleet, he's got a 70 truck fleet that he religiously uses. But what he was telling some of these drivers that were calling in is, especially with the newer system, a lot of these guys got the pre-DPF trucks that they don't want to lose. And but with the new systems, the problems truckers hate about the new DPF systems are how expensive they are to fix, and they always have issues.
Oh yeah.
The number one thing to do is always keep a fuel additive like Diesel Extreme EDT in the system. It will reduce your regens dramatically, and a lot of it comes back to the cetane.
Well, yeah.
There you go. You found it right
We'll see
there.
on the screen 36 a year down to 6 times a year, and that's with Diesel Extreme and EDT.
Right. They're just doing the normal two-step of using Diesel Extreme every 6,000, EDT in every tank. These trucks, this was a third-party test done by, was this the City of Columbus?
City of Columbus, yeah.
Right. And
it was on two separate trucks.
yeah, I think one was like
F550 and a Freightliner, maybe?
I believe you're right. Good memory.
There we go. 6.7, yeah, power stroke.
And so, and look at that. Hold that for a second there. So they calculated even the downtime, the fuel expense, the DEF expense, everything, and it came out to be not just that you're reducing regens from 36 a year to 6 a year. That's one every other month. They were doing one almost every week, like every three a month. So, but then the cost of the product, I think it comes even down a little bit more, doesn't it? Yeah, $135 for the truck.
For the year.
Right, and saved $13.91 a year. So for $135 a product, each truck was saved at $13.91. Now, the unique story about this is this was also one of the EPA tests. We had to have a city do it. And they were just doing the test for us as a third-party testing service. Well, after the testing, they called us another one of our biggest fleets.
Right, yeah.
So they're like, about that stuff.
Can we get some of that?
Right. So it's, and the reason why that's happening again is that we're burning the fuel more completely. A DPS is a diesel particulate filter. It catches all the extra non-burnt stuff. And then they've got to heat up to like 1,000 degrees, burn everything off, and they do a regen cycle. The less you have to use your DPF, the better. And because they're problematic, they've never been designed well. They're just a piece of science that has not worked well. Like every manufacturer's redesigned them. They suck. But they've got to meet the environmental standards that the government put down, so we have to have them on there. But the solution, if you have to deal with the DPF, is treat your fuel, get the cetane up, burn the fuel more completely, more cleanly, and then you're putting less in the DPF, and you got to worry about it a fraction of the time.
And we do get the question sometimes, hey, can I use this with emissions equipment?
Oh, absolutely.
It actually helps.
It's actually the opposite. It's like you don't want to have emissions equipment without using it. I mean, it's even more important to use a fuel additive when you have emissions equipment. It keeps them clean, keeps them running longer. So it's really the right way to go. Any other follow-up questions? We had some customer questions we had on the back here. Can I use Diesel Extreme in every tank with no harm? I'm not going to read the answer. I know this answer. Answer is yes. But the way we always say it's like you're paying our bills around here. As I described earlier, it's not going to harm your vehicle to run Diesel Extreme in every single tank. But that's why we later came out with everyday diesel treatment, our EDT. That'd be like our yellow bottles or squeeze bottle you commonly see. That product has the same 6 ingredients in that we have here. And I'll tell you the difference. So if you look at even a small bottle like this, the 16-ounce bottle, Diesel Extreme, that size treats 40 gallons. So that's like a one-tank use. On your common diesel truck, you're pouring that whole bottle in the tank. The same size bottle of EDT can treat up to 400 gallons. So and it's like, what, a couple bucks more. So price per dose is cheap. It goes really a long way and allows you to keep all those 6 things we said. It keeps the lubricity up, the cetane up, keeps the water dispersion in there, the fuel stabilizer in every single tank for a fraction of the cost. The difference in the two is the rest of this bottle is injector cleaner.
That's it.
Like, and you just don't need that much in every single tank. It's like going to the dentist every day to get
You
your
don't need
toothbrush.
to, right.
You don't need to. So, if you choose to, all the power to you.
It's not going to hurt anything.
It's not
but-
going to hurt anything. It's just you're going to have the world's cleanest fuel system in the world, you know,
Right.
and it's just a little bit of overkill. Can I run it in my new truck? Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
Theoretically, you might not need it till 6,000 miles. We recommend every 6,000 mile cleanup, but you can run it then and keep it clean. Another question here says, can I run your Diesel Extreme in the filter? Like other brands, when changing filter fillable on Cummins, let it run for 2 minutes and then shut it off, let it sit for 15 minutes. Answer to that is actually no. We don't recommend that. And the reason is that it's such a concentrated formula that using it that method directly through the fuel filter could potentially bring too much of the cleaner into the engine. So we just recommend putting it through the fuel tank on that size dosage. So if you're using this 16-ounce bottle, put it on 40 gallons of fuel. It's super potent stuff. We need it diluted down that much.
Right.
So the only time we ever advise anybody to put something right on the filter there is on our
Winter Rescue?
Winter
Diesel
Rescue.
Winter Rescue.
If you're gelled up, we have a product that you can remove the fuel filter and put our Winter Rescue right on there to de-gel it so you can get back on the road. But as far as Diesel Extreme, you never need to do that. If you end up put this in the tank, trust me, it's going to clean everything it possibly can get to.
So James chimed in on YouTube. He doesn't ask a question. He just says he has an 05 6-liter. So I'll pose a question for you, James, to Kyle with my 2005 6-liter Power Stroke. Say I've never used Hot Shots before. This is my truck. What should I run? Can I run Diesel Extreme? Should that be my first product?
You never run Hot Shots before. First diesel truck?
Sure.
Or first time using our products?
Sure. Yeah. First time using Hot Shots.
How many miles on the truck?
He doesn't say, but we'll say 245.
Oh, yeah. Then always start off with our big two. Stiction eliminator on the oil side, get that thing cleaned out. Diesel Extreme on the fuel side, get that cleaned out. Good thing behind those things is the follow-up product is then our FR3 on the oil side. After you get it cleaned out with the stiction eliminator, these kind of work both on the oil and fuel. We do
Right.
the same thing.
Two-step.
Our first step of the two is to get everything in there and get it cleaned out. Now we do it uniquely on both of them where we clean and lubricate at the same time. So we don't use the real harsh solvents or anything like that. We're using high-end Group 5 esters and on the oil side. We're using really high-end ID cleaners on the fuel side. So the Diesel Extreme and the stiction eliminator are designed to get in there and get a full cleaning out of both sides so we can start from scratch. Once it's all cleaned out, now let's keep it clean. So that's where on the oil side, maybe that next oil change for 2 oil changes after that, run our FR3. It's going to keep everything lubricated, and it's got to keep clean dosage in there. On the fuel side, run our everyday treatment. We talked about why you need that over the Diesel Extreme because you don't need all that injector cleaner. And once it comes time we say 6,000 miles on it. A lot of guys will do it on their oil change interval.
Right.
Some guys run 10,000 mile oil change intervals. They'll do Diesel Extreme at that time. Same time they're cleaning out the oil side. So it's a good 1-2 punch, and it's a good way to get introduced to our products. Those are our top 4 that people are most used to: is Stiction Eliminator, FR3, Diesel Extreme, everyday diesel treatment.
You hear anything else on Facebook?
No, I'm good. I think I had to reboot, so I don't know if I missed anything or not.
Do you have anything else on Diesel Extreme you want to add?
Let's see. I sometimes get guys asking me, Diesel Extreme is the official fuel additive of the Ultimate Callout Challenge, Northwest Dyno Circuit, Outlaw Diesel Super Series, Whole Shot Diesel Series, and the NTPA. So, pretty good stuff.
I'd say.
And for being the official fuel out of all those performance places, sometimes people ask me, I really want to juice up the cetane. Can I pour like 3 of them bottles in? And the one thing you got to remember with at least how we formulate our products is just because a little's good, a lot doesn't make it great.
Right.
We formulate right to the peak of performance, and we do that on purpose. So putting more in there is advantages. You can get a little bit of lubricity added by adding more, but in that case, if you're looking for that, buy some LX4 and top treater with that. If you're really looking for some more cetane, that's why we give you 2 options on the EDT side for 2 ounces or 1 ounce per 25 gallons. That'll move your cetane level. It's about a 7. Same thing for the diesel extreme. It takes a whole bunch to move it after that.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's
maybe
just not,
1, 2 points.
yeah,
You know,
it's just that we are right at
we're
the curve.
talking adding a bunch.
Yeah, right where the curve starts to flatten is where we formulated it. So we've talked before about the trace Sykes dose of
Right.
EDT. And in that example, that's on a 5-gallon fuel cell. So you got to divide it by 5 to start with. We normally would advise on a 5-gallon fuel cell would be 0.2 of an ounce.
Yeah.
And he puts 40 ounces. I mean, a bottle bigger than this, and it's at 200 times dosage. So that first 0.4 of an ounce of EDT will move it, the cetane, 7 points.
7 points, yeah.
The remaining 39.4 ounces only moves it like 2 or 3 more points.
Right.
So it really shows how we formulated right to the peak. So for those of you who's looking for a little extra punch, you're just not going to get much more out of it. I mean, we're right there. So a little bit might help a little bit, but
Just follow the directions. That's
Yeah.
your best bet.
yep, we formulated on purpose that way. And again, the other thing I should say, I just saw a question come in today to our customer service asking how our dosages could be set up that way where our competitors have such larger doses. They're pouring so much more in. And the reason is we have 0 filler in here. Those
Right.
6 ingredients we told you is the formulation. That's
That's
the
it.
recipe. There is no filler in any of our products, especially.
Everything in there has a job.
Yep.
It's doing something.
Yep. And like we always say, if we wanted to add something else to it, something's got to come out.
Right.
So there's no fillers. That's why the potency is what it is. So that's all I had to add.
That's all I got.
So what we got next week? I will be off in Indy.
Yeah, for UCC.
Yep. So looking forward to it. Little Bear might be out there. Maybe.
Maybe.
But a lot of the house will be out there. So I hope you guys come out and see us. Stop by the booth and say hi at UCC. If you haven't ever been, again, I'm going to encourage you really to go and check it out. We'll be doing a lot of video there too. So on the back end of UCC, we'll have some cool stuff. We have quite a few sponsored drivers that we got a lot that are racing Outlaw Diesel, of course, but we've got a lot that are those competitors at UCC. So, Levon won it for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Derek Rose won it. The last one they had before.
For 2020.
You're right, before it was canceled last year. So it would be nice to have another Hot Shot Secret racer take home the UCC title.
It would be, and it's nice because, well, it's interesting because last year's got canceled, so it's kind of wide open this year. Nobody really has any
Kind of an open
expectations.
field.
Let's
And
see.
There's some familiar names, and there's some also unfamiliar names that I personally know have some very badass trucks.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to watch. So come on out there and check us out. I'm sure we'll go live, especially if Little Bear comes. He can go live for us out there quite a bit and show you what's going on. But until then, we'll tune in next week. As always, 1:30 right here on Thursdays. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.